How many jealous?
I just freestyling in my head right now.
I keep hearing the beat, so I'm like waiting for it, for Kanye to come in.
I like the song, but I like the instrumental because it allows me to think about it in the context of my life.
Instead of Kanye's.
Yeah.
Always about Kanye. Kanye all day long.
Richie Rocks.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in to the Realennials. I'm Pat.
I'm Ruby. And again, we're the Realennials.
Let's get the party started.
That was, oh, yes.
Whoops.
We had more Yeezy for you.
Almost did.
Well, everyone can just go listen to that.
I'm feeling those instrumentals. I'm going to throw that link in the description for the instrumental in case you feel like freestyling over it.
I just feel like
listeners.
I do feel like rapping, but I don't feel like freestyling. I feel like rapping what Kanye said because that's a good song.
What I like to do is kind of freestyle a little bit and then record that, and it's usually not great, but then I take that and then I sit down and write it so that it's good. But the style's there, the delivery's there already.
What?
Yeah.
I haven't tried. I used to. You know what? I used to. I guess used to back when we were in college. Not at the same time, like not together, but I would do that too. I would like write stuff and I'd listen to beats in my car and I would try to beatbox. And it's interesting. I like hearing about your creative process, that you're like, oh no, they're not that great, but I get the style down, like from the get-go, which I never thought about it that way. That's cool.
Because style is so important, and that has to come. For me, style just comes from the heart, or from my emotions at that moment. That's where the art is.
Yeah. And
then you have to be artistic with your words, but for me, I have to have some sort of intelligence. I mean, I'm speaking like I'm a legit rapper, which I basically am. But I'm not, a commercial rapper or anything like that.
You have something out there. You know what? Guys, Pat is a rapper because he has stuff that he's done. And so all you got to do is keep working. I mean, that's how people get good, is they have to start shitty. Like, I'm sorry, everybody, but our first, 1, 2, 3, maybe up to 11 episodes haven't been that great, right? Like, we're gonna get better. They've been pretty good,
though, for real.
They've been pretty funny. I mean, we try. We have fun, and I think it comes across, but you have to put in work to get to the top. Like, that's, if you hear it's all in hip-hop. Like, it's on rap. It's you don't start at the top, everybody. You start at the bottom.
It's the same process with anything, really. I mean, anything that you want to be good at.
Yeah, I would say I'm still on the level 1 of rapping, so I'm not up there yet.
Yeah.
Will I ever get there? I don't know. It's fun. But that's true. Like, what else? Like learning a language? Or...
My Spanish is terrible.
I think you could do really good in Spanish, though, because you have the foundations.
Yeah.
You have the foundations. You should use Duolingo.
I should.
Have you?
You know, did I tell you about this?
Awesome.
There's news in another language. News in a second language or something.
Is it like an app or a
it's
website?
It's a website, yeah.
Oh, and it lets you read the news.
It might be an app.
That's freaking awesome. Well, that's how people learn other languages, too.
I don't think read, it's all audio, I think. But it's the news, and they speak slow Spanish or slow French for people who are trying to learn it. I'll find the link. I'll post that in the description.
Yeah, I just pulled out my notebook because I'm going to write this stuff down. Guys, I haven't seen Pat for a week, so we have some catching up to do.
Yeah.
He said he has some stories for me.
I have a funny story.
I've been, like, and he won't tell me
I have a funny story.
until we started recording, so we're both hearing it for the first time.
I have a funny story about work. It's kind of hilarious, really, but it could kind of cause some problems as well. Okay, so here's what happened.
What happened?
A lady at my work, I won't say her name.
A person at his job.
She came up to me, and she was like, "Hey, she's talking about a contraption or whatever that she had at her desk, like an exercise machine.
Yeah.
And it's like just kind of a small elliptical that you can use.
I've seen those. They're cute.
It's pretty cool, you know? It's cool. I like the idea of it. And she came up to me and she's like, "Yo, I got that." I was like, "What is that thing?" She's like, "Oh, it's an exercise machine. I want to lose weight." And I was like, "Okay. That's cool. That's dope. So do I. I'm trying to do that too."
Yeah.
Right? I tell her, and I go to the gym and stuff, trying to eat better. So I was like, "That's cool. I agree with her in that conversation." And then, so like 20 minutes later, I see her again with this other girl that we work with. We're all kind of friends there. We're like work friends there.
Yeah.
And she's eating a candy bar, and I was like, "What are you doing? You just told me you want to lose weight."
Oh,
I said that. And she was like taken aback. She was so offended, and like our friend too was there. She was like, "What are you doing? That's offensive." I was like, "How's that offensive? She just told me that she wants to lose weight."
Like, and I'm questioning what she just told me because I just learned that information, right?
And I was like,
"Well, what'd she say?"
She got so sad about it, and I was like, so I told her, I was like, "Oh no!" Even before that, I saw her with the candy bar in our same first conversation. I told her, I was like, if you really want to lose weight, all you need to do is eat healthier. Like, you can actually lose weight eating healthier than you can trying to continue not eating good.
But exercise.
But exercise all the time, because exercise wears down your body. Actually, over time, and so it's more healthy for you to. And she told me, she's like, "You can be overweight and healthy if you're fit," and it's like, that's cool, but you can be even healthier if you just eat right and exercise less.
Yeah.
If that's what you're trying to do, like, you can be more athletic, but not necessarily be healthy.
Yeah.
Just the same way as you can be overweight and be,
but
relatively healthy.
Did she acknowledge that concept? Was she like, "Oh yeah, you're right. I need to change my.
No, she agreed with me in that conversation.
Yeah.
That was part of the first conversation, and then I saw her 20 minutes later with a candy bar, and I was like, "What are you doing?" We just talked about this, basically.
Well, what candy bar was it?
It was, I don't know, it was like a caramel chocolate thing from a Russell Silver's thing.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like you guys had here. But, yeah. So that's what happened. And so she got kind of upset about it, and was not very happy about it. And then so, yeah, I want to get your opinion on that. It's like, they're trying to tell me that I was offensive, basically, and that I was like, I don't know, saying something, commenting about her weight when I shouldn't have been saying something like that.
I don't think so.
I basically told you verbatim what I told them. And with the same enthusiasm, like, I'm on her side. Like, I want her to do good, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Well, that's... I applaud you for doing that. Because most people would just be like, well, that's their life, whatever. But you need people like you. Everybody needs people like Pat to tell them and keep them accountable for the things that they literally had said 20 minutes prior to that. So I don't see it as a bad thing. I don't know if somebody did that to me, if you were talking to me, I would probably be like, you're right. Like, you know, I would hope so. That's what I would hope thinking. So too. But I'm saying that knowing that you were gonna say that, like your intentions. She may not have known your intentions.
Yeah, she may not have guessed that I would say something like that to her. But I'm just gonna keep it real, right? Like, what am I supposed to do?
Yep. I think it's better to be known as real than fake. Like, people are be talking about that, like, oh, but he just like kind of just.
And in my mind, I'm thinking like she's gonna go and like kill it now because she got offended, and she's gonna have like a 6-pack in like 6 months, and she's gonna thank me for it later.
I hope so. I hope you get a high five her and be like, "Yay, you lost a lot of weight because of your diet."
So woo. She's gonna be doing crunches like mad at me, like fuck that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like hitting it hard.
But it's true though. Diet is really important to losing weight, and oh my gosh. Okay, so we've been talking about cognitive dissonance.
Oh, wait. Sorry. That is a part of it, the cognitive dissonance.
I'm writing this.
I was going to explain that to her, but I feel like she would get more offended if I try to explain that to her.
Yeah, because...
So...
Wait. Where do mansplainers get their water?
So, okay. So...
That's a joke.
No, it's funny. I don't know where.
Well, actually...
See... I don't know. See, and my friend, our mutual friend, told me, she's like, you're mansplaining to her, and I was like, fuck. I was like, what is that supposed to mean?
You would have been mansplaining to her if you would have explained the cognitive dissonance thing. Although it's a very interesting concept. Yeah, but you didn't mansplain, so you did good. But you would have been if you would have like, actually, you don't understand this because you haven't thought about it.
That was the whole conversation we had. I made no comment about her weight. I made no comment about her specific diet or anything. I told her I specifically said it's the science of it. I explained the science of it. Yeah. I said they say you just eat, if you eat healthier, you lose weight. Yeah. Like, so we just talked about science about it. I didn't make anything personal comments about her.
She didn't but she okay, so
so sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry, but that was not even the whole story. So
I need all the info and then I'm gonna go into it.
This is the other part of the funny story is that happened, right? And then like maybe an hour and a half later or something, at the end of the day, maybe only an hour later, it's near the end of the day, and we have a little, or people stayed after work to kind of hang out a little bit.
A sad hour.
And just hang out and, get to know each other a little bit more. And she asked me if I was going to stay. And I was, like, really tired. I was, like, not in a good mood. I was ready to go home. And I messed up my words when I was talking to her.
Oh, no.
And it was just, like, complete just fumble with my words.
What did you say?
It was not what I meant at all. And I was like, would you want to... I was like, I posed a question to her because I go in earlier than everyone else does.
Yeah.
So I'm staying late to hang out because the time's at 4:30 and I'm supposed to leave at like 3:30.
Yeah.
So I'm staying late. And these people usually come in at like 9, the ones that they're talking to me.
Yeah.
And they normally would leave after people start hanging out.
Yeah.
You know? And so they're like, why won't you stay? And I was like, well, in my mind, I was thinking, would you want to stay extra, like an hour later than what you would normally leave to hang out with work people? And what I said was, that was what I meant to say. What I said was, would you want to stay and hang out an extra hour to hang out with white people? But I corrected myself right away.
Statement stands, though.
I'm correcting myself. I did not mean to say that at all. I swear to God. And
That's funny.
I immediately corrected myself. I said, "Oh, Right, I was like, with white people, work people, with work people. I'm sorry I said that. I did not mean that at all. And just in my mind.
But it's true though, right?
No, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that at all.
No, I mean, I don't mean you meant it, but you probably do work with a lot of white people, so it's worse because it's true.
I know. And she was looking at me crazy, and I was like, man, that is not what I meant at all. And I felt so terrible, so I stayed and hung out, but it was like, I couldn't believe that happened to the same girl that I had that conversation with earlier that already got offended by me. She was like, oh my God, you're a monster. I was like, man, that is not me at all. She's tripping.
She got a real different side of Pat.
Oh my goodness.
Some people ain't gonna like you, based off stupid shit you do, so whatever.
I was like, I'm sorry, but I didn't apologize, because I didn't apologize for any of it. I was like, I'm not gonna apologize for trying to help somebody out and give them information.
Yeah, no, don't apologize for that. So I think when you talked to her the first time and told her the science, like kind of the reasoning behind, or just you were just advising her, actually. You were just saying, hey, this is what people say, or this is what usually works better, is changing your diet, not just adding exercise. By the way, there's a concept that I don't even know. I did a lot of reading and internet searching this weekend, but anyways, somebody along the way said that when you're trying to foster change, it's better to look at subtracting something first rather than adding. So she thought, I'm going to add exercise and that's going to do something. But instead, she should be subtracting candy bars, right? And you knew that. Mm-hmm. And that's like essentially what the science is telling, because we do know that diet is really important to losing weight. But I don't think she didn't change her attitudes at that point in time. Just because you mentioned that stuff to her didn't mean that she had already adopted that belief. You know what I'm saying? So that's where cognitive dissonance does come in, because she, like, your reasoning wasn't compelling enough. Like, the science wasn't compelling enough for her to change how she already thought. She must have been like, candy bars are cool. Like, I think candy bars are cool too, but I can now hold both of those ideas in my, like, I can suspend them in my mind at the same time to analyze the situation and then change my behavior to say, okay, no, candy bars are not good for losing weight. I actually probably just needed to say that sentence too, because I had a Heath bar yesterday and they always fuck with me because Heath is so close to the word health, and your girl doesn't read too well, so I'm always like, health bar, it's healthy, like, and those are just things I want to see. But
full disclosure, I eat junk food all the time too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But
I mean, it is about, and that's the challenge. It's about making that change actually happen. And I've been obsessed this entire, like, the past few months with just the idea of cognitive dissonance and how it does make change, and how, because we're given a belief system. You guys think you're given a belief system, okay? And you got to make it up for yourself along the way. And if you don't, then it's just going to be tougher on you, because there's symptoms to these things. Like, your behavior is in direct correlation to your beliefs, and if you don't change your beliefs, you can't change your behavior. So cognitive dissonance is the clashing of two beliefs, right? So she believed candy bars were good, but she also believed that her footstool thing under her desk or her exercise thing would make her skinny, right? But you just gave her the information that one of those isn't true, which is the candy bar thing. So now she's got two ideas that are butting heads, and she's like, oh man. So she has two options here, Pat. She can put those two beliefs under analyzation and say, okay, candy bars are bad, so I'm not going to eat this candy bar. Or what was her other one, is that her belief is also that the elliptical thing is good for her, right? Like, so she didn't change her, she probably just reinforced herself with that thought. Like, somehow she has to then relieve that cognitive dissonance, so she has to rationalize it. And I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. It's more of the method than the actual information I'm saying, because I don't know what's going on in her head. But she didn't change her belief to change her behavior, right? So reasoning itself, like, that's why advertising is so fucked up, because it not only gives you sometimes doesn't give you information, sometimes gives you the wrong information, but it messes with your emotions, and that's how you get people to change their behavior. And like, it's a real tool. You have to really kind of understand what happens when you are faced with a belief that is opposite than yours, because you have to know how to look at it and see if that's true. So people, like, these are psychological tools that people use to like just be human, I guess. You have to cope somehow. So you're either going to take on the new belief or you're going to reject it and stick closer to your current belief. Like, you're going to find a reason to make whatever you already think more prevalent. There's another coping mechanism too, which is where you you drop the importance, like you drop the value of what it is that belief is. So like, you just say, oh, it's just a candy bar. Like, it's not even important. Or it's just my weight. It's just my appearance. It's not even important. So instead of taking on one of those two beliefs, she has now instead dropped the importance to relieve that cognitive dissonance, right? And I'm just doing a whole analyzation of your coworker. I don't know her. She may be nice, and I mean, she probably is
you
nice.
know what I did though to reinforce it? Because idea is, see, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting.
Go tell her about herself.
No, I sent her.
That's how you did that?
Sent her a video this morning. That happened on Friday. I sent her a video this morning, a Vox video that explains the science behind that.
Oh, good.
It's like 5 minutes long.
Well, with more information, she may change her belief. I mean, she's probably going to, because video is...
Can I play the Vox video real quick?
You can play the Vox video.
I want people to know exactly what...
For it. It's interesting. I just... I've been looking through the cognitive dissonance classes for the past few weeks, and it's a thing. It's important to know. Oh, remind me to talk to you about the hedonistic treadmill. Since we're talking about...
We have this idea that if we
Working
want
out.
to lose weight, we join a gym on January 1st, we start working out regularly, and eventually we slim down. Well, here's some bad news.
I read more than 60
I'll post a
studies
link to
on
this
this,
in the
and
description.
it turns out exercise is actually pretty useless when it comes to weight loss.
Dr. Kevin Hall at the National Institutes of Health has done some of the most important studies on exercise and weight loss.
We need to rebrand exercise. Exercise isn't a weight loss tool per se. It's excellent for health. It's probably the best single thing that you can do other than stopping smoking to improve your health. But don't look at it as a weight loss tool.
Exercise will definitely help you live a longer, happier life. It's just not the best way to lose weight. And the reason it has to do with how our bodies use energy.
You may not realize it, but physical activity is actually a tiny component of your daily energy burn.
There are three main ways our bodies burn calories.
These include your resting metabolism, so that's how much energy your body burns just for its basic functioning, just to keep you alive, basically. The other part of energy expenditure is the thermic effect of food, and that's just how much energy is required to break food down in your body. The third part of energy expenditure is physical activity.
For most people, physical activity, that's any movement you do, only accounts for about 10 to 30% of energy use.
So the vast majority of energy or calories you burn every day comes from your basal or resting metabolism, over which you have very little control.
While 100% of your calories in are up to you, only about 30% of your calories out are in your control. One study found that if a 200-pound man ran for an hour, 4 days a week for a month, he'd lose about 5 pounds at most, assuming everything else stays the same. And everything else doesn't stay the same.
Researchers have found we make all kinds of behavioral and physiological adaptations when we start increasing the amount of exercise we're getting every day.
For one thing, exercise tends to make people hungry.
And I'm sure you know the feeling. You go for a spinning class in the morning, and then by the time you eat breakfast, you're so hungry you maybe double the size of the portion of oatmeal you'd normally eat.
There's also evidence to suggest that some people simply slow down after a workout.
So if you went running in the morning, you might be less inclined to take the stairs at work.
These are called compensatory behaviors. They're basically the various ways we unknowingly undermine our workouts.
Researchers have also discovered a phenomenon called metabolic compensation. As people start to slim down, their resting metabolism can slow down, so the amount of energy you burn while at rest is lower. That means that this bar might shrink as you start to lose weight.
There's still a lot of research to be done, but one study from 2012 is particularly interesting.
They went out into the middle of the savannah.
All right.
Tanzania.
We'll post the link in the description before if you want to watch the rest of that video. It's really pretty good.
Oh man, I'm actually kind of pissed that Pat turned it off right now. What the?
Hold on. We'll watch the rest of it.
Vox is really good. They have really good videos.
We're going to stop this.
So you sent her that video.
I sent her this video this morning. After that happened, all that stuff happened on Friday.
That's compelling. That's a good video.
And I sent that to her. And she was even more offended.
No! She was like, why would you send this to me? I don't want more information so that because it doesn't support what I already believe.
Exactly.
So what did she tell you? Was she just like...
She didn't say anything to me all day. She like gave me the cold shoulder when she walked by me.
You're like... You watched that video though?
I wanted to say that.
You should have.
But so no, she was cool by the end of the day. Like she like hit me up on Instant Messenger and was like trying to explain to me why she was offended. And I don't know if she wanted an apology or what, but I'm not gonna apologize for trying to help somebody out achieve their goal and help them become a better person. Like I can only like I understand my intention in that situation, and it was good.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to apologize for that. And she has to, I can't, and I'm also not in control of how she perceives it either.
That's true. Communication is a two-way street, so.
But I explained to her that was my intention, you know?
Yeah.
I can explain to her my intention, and and that's what it is, you know? Like, if she has to deal with those emotions of how she perceives it. And then really understand the information. She wants you to relieve that. That's why. She wants you to relieve it. Like, she just wants to be like, oh, you were just being mean. And then that makes her feel better. That, like, relieves that. Right? But am I, like, what is there? No, no, you don't have to. You don't have to. Yeah. You don't, like, I think for the sake of our argument, you should always, I mean, you can feel like it's mean. And you're acknowledging the fact, but you're not, like, you still don't think what you did was wrong, right? Like, right. I still don't think what you did was wrong, so I don't feel like an apology is warranted either. But it's just, like, for me, I always still want to explain things, so I'm, like, still thinking about, like, I'm not going to do that. But, what, is she still offended? She's still I don't think so anymore. Is she, like, texting you, like, reason 55? No, it wasn't like that. She was just, like, she showed me a video, and I didn't watch it. She sent me a YouTube link, and I didn't watch it. What was the video? I didn't watch it. Was it, like, you didn't even open it? I didn't even open it. I do that. I'll, like, not... I was like... But I should have told her. I was like, I'm not going to watch this. I thought about telling her that. Probably something about how I'm a dick would be my... guess. Well, you don't know. You need to watch it and then let us know what it was, because it might be like, you're right. I'll watch it before I post the podcast. And then if I have to... Right? We skip over podcast 12. But, so that was the situation. It was kind of funny. The whole thing was hilarious. She didn't think it was so funny, but... Well, I bet it was just funny, like, timing-wise. But I wanted to explain the whole thing of cognitive dissonance, too. I was like, you shouldn't be mad. You shouldn't be upset. You just didn't know. And you haven't changed your behavior. Yeah. And I want to help. But also to understand why you didn't change your behavior, because of cognitive dissonance, because of how the brain works naturally, and if you don't understand how it works, then you can never control it. It's true. As my philosophy. Stay woke, people. Stay woke. You gotta know. You gotta know how things work so you can change them. So, in my opinion, I was just trying to help her out, trying to help somebody out. Okay, so my thing was, my friend, our mutual friend, she was like, "You're mansplaining to her," and I was like, "No, you can't say that." Like, I told her, I was like, all I spit to her was science, straight up. I was like, she can take it how she wants, but all I gave her to her was scientific facts. So
Yeah.
she's like, "You're mansplaining." I was like, right now, like, to me, that argument sounds like like a climate change denier. Like, I'm just giving you scientific facts, and for you to tell me that you're not feeling it because you're not trying to hear it because of your emotions, like, that's what climate change deniers sound like to me.
Well, okay, so you would be mansplaining if
I went off and said all that shit?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
If she was already aware. But it sounds like what you were telling her is things she probably was not aware of. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think mansplaining is more when a guy just assumes you don't know. But if she really didn't know, then
I mean, I told it to her as if she didn't know it. She could have already known it, but she could have stopped me at any time and been like, "I know this. You don't have to tell me."
Instead of getting offended.
Yeah. Or even bring it up at the end of it.
Yeah.
If I'm talking to you and I'm a dumbass because you already know it, and you're just trying to be polite, you can tell me at the end of my whatever I said.
I already knew that, or thanks for the info I already had in my head.
Exactly.
You wasted my time.
Yeah. You know?
And then you would be like, I'm offended.
Yeah.
I need a safe space.
So I'm just like...
Workplace stuff.
I don't know. It just brings up an interesting conversation about like freedom of speech and also just like feminism in general. Like, what is feminism? I'm confused because I talked to her the way I spoke to her.
I hate that you just brought that up right now.
I know, that's why I
can't even explain it to you. I can't even like, I'm not very well versed in feminism either.
I'm just trying to get your opinion on the situation because like I spoke to her like I would speak to anybody.
Yeah.
Man or woman. Like, gender was absolutely indifferent in my tone.
Yeah.
And so they try to come at me and as if like how I approached it was inappropriate because of her gender. And I was like, no, that was not in my tone. That was clearly not in my tone. So, you probably understand my tone as much as anybody.
Yeah.
Because we speak pretty frequently about all kinds of different things. But,
I mean, there could have been a breakdown in communication somehow in this entire thing, and
right. So, but so that was my thing, and I was like, so in terms of feminism, is like I thought what I did was the right thing by approaching her exactly how I approach anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I see that. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, maybe this is something to come back at your mutual work friend person, but just be, if it was a guy instead of that girl, would she have said the same thing? Like, would she have said the same thing? Like, she is also
the
affected. Mutual
friend.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's so it's obviously affected by gender. If she says no, I would have thought it was funny. Like, you know, I would have thought you were doing a good job or something. Oh man, guys, feminism.
So So
all oppression is bad. All
that's what like is feminism in that situation treating her as a more delicate person and be more delicate on the approach?
No, I think it's more about the assumption. It's like the preconceived notion of, you know, when I see, I mean, it's just like it's holding your own like belief stereotype about that person just based on gender is just a big thing.
That's my point, is that it's not basing it off of her. It's like the same conversation I would have had with anybody.
Exactly.
The exact same tone and everything.
Well, but people get so hung up on the gender thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I'm uncomfortable talking about this.
Sorry, I mean,
like, I don't know what to say. I feel like I could be wrong at all times because this has just been so discussed, and guys, we're both in a minority here. I mean, you know, your man, oh my gosh, you guys there's stuff that goes on with guys too. You guys, like, our perception of masculinity is all fucked up. Like, guys can't even have emotions or cry. Like, it's bad for guys too, but for women, it's like, oh my gosh, we haven't had just rights. Like, legally, we haven't been able to do things, and there's still stereotypes for women. And so it's just like everybody's getting a piece, but I'm kind of, we're a little double-edged right now because we're also Latino, Latina, Latinx, or whatever. That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
So I've got a lot of forces working against me as well, but I don't know. This is just real uncomfortable shit lately. I don't like to think about it. I don't like to think in terms of color. I don't like, but you know.
See, for me, okay.
People do though.
I thank you so much for that, because I felt like I'm just as confused as anybody too, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like in that scenario, and in every scenario, it's just more about like being human and being real in any scenario, you know? Like, my intent is not to hurt anyone's feelings ever.
Because of something that they have no control over. Like, they don't have any control over what color their skin are, what gender they are. I mean, to an extent these days, okay? People do have some control now over things like that. But I know, science, guys, technology, but I mean, in general, you try to look at somebody and you want to see them as a human, and you want to have compassion towards them as a human, but it is hard because we have all those beliefs that were given to you, people. Like, you know, they're not yours, and if you think they're yours, question it again. Ask yourself, is that my belief? Is that what I believe, or is that what my parents believe? Is that what I believe, or is that what my friends believe? Is that what I believe, or is that what my like political party believes? Like, you need to take those things into account, because if not, you're going to act based off a belief that's not even yours. This is your life. Why are you letting other people decide what you believe and how you act about stuff? Rant over. Oh yeah, but guys, just again, please stay informed. Please stay woke. Please think about what it is that fuels your actions, and treat people like human beings, regardless of everything. Like, regardless of everything. Actually, I would like to share something.
Okay.
We're talking to my mom a few weeks ago. Last time, no, maybe it was for New Year's when they were up here. And you know, there's all this wall talk has been going on, and my parents are they immigrated from Mexico. They're citizens. It's great. They really made a great life for themselves here. But I asked my mom, like, what's your favorite part of being American, like, of living in this country? And she goes, you know what my favorite part of living in this country is that they have, like, that disabled people have rights, that they are able to go get a job, that they can be, that they are included in society, and that there's,
what a
like,
good answer to that
yes,
question. Wow.
And she said that they're given a chance to, you know, be a part of society. And she said, because in Mexico, you know, if you have a disabled kid or somebody is disabled, they don't see the light of day. They just stay home. They just, you know, or you send them somewhere. And she said, I think that's so great of America. And, you know, you think of all these stereotypes against ethnicities and genders, and, you know, a religion is a big one. But you never quite think about, like, how other groups get it, like the disabled. And, you know, I really admire my mom for having that answer. And it was a really good thing to hear. And I think that people should, you know, guys, just try to put yourself in other people's shoes. Like, how would you feel if you were in that person's situation, and act accordingly, and act with some compassion. I don't think I can stress that enough, and I definitely can't talk about it enough. You guys will probably hear it like all day, every day for me, but just be good people. And I don't know. I just thought I'd share that since that popped up. We didn't watch the Grammys, so you guys aren't going to hear about that. I asked Pat right before we started. I was like, did you watch the Grammys? Because I did not. I was reading, guys. I was not watching the Grammys, although I do love me some Beyonce. I do love me some Katy Perry. I heard her outfit was weird. I don't know. So I did hear about it, but we didn't watch it, so we're not going to talk about it. What else? What else has gone on this week? What do we got going on? Oh, the hedonistic treadmill. That's what I wanted to talk about.
All right, what's that about?
Okay, let me do a quick search. So hedonistic treadmill. I don't know. Am I saying this right? I'm just making sure. Okay, so I'm semi-obsessed with this notion as well. But the hedonistic treadmill is, it's a metaphorical treadmill that people cannot get off of. But it's, it just states that...
Now it's self-explanatory after you say that. Which I guess by definition is not self-explanatory. I'm out of control.
You're out of control, Pat. But it just basically says that no matter if you...
Hedonic. It's hedonic. You said hedonistic.
What does hedonistic mean? I know.
That's completely different thing. What?
I'm fucking up, people. I told you guys I can't read. Ask my sister. I get things wrong all the time.
I'm not mad at you. I just think it's hilarious. Just the context
hedonic.
of it.
You're right. And you know what, guys? I watched the video, so I did know the pronunciation. I don't know what I'm thinking about right now.
That cracks me up.
But it's this notion of people, of your happiness, no matter if something goes positively or negatively, you are always going to get back to this baseline happiness. So, like, this is why people achieve success, and then once they're at the top, they get happy. They need more. Like, you always need more. Mm-hmm. And that is our society. We always need more. It's so crazy. And so, but this works in the reverse way too. So if your life goes in the toilet and stuff's just going shitty, 3 to 6 months in, your level of happiness is gonna baseline. So I just think about this because, like, guys, I know we're all upset about Donald Trump being our president, but according to the hedonic treadmill, did I say it right? Mm-hmm. Our happiness is going to level out, no matter if it's a positive or a negative effect.
I'm curious if they have the same root word.
Hedonic and hedonistic. I mean, we can look that up. Guys, we have Google, so...
The Googles.
Google. Oh, I use my phone. Google?
Sorry, I was going to just...
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't mean to...
He's talking about something different.
I was not trying to point at something and you do it.
I do it. Okay, Big Sean reference. He wants to talk about I Decided, I guess. That's his new album.
I ain't even mad about it. That's hilarious.
Good segue, Pat. Well, you know what? I found the hedonistic treadmill. That's why I clicked on it. Hedonic definition.
But it brought up this. It
Yeah.
brought up the hedonic one.
Oh, here it says the root words. Hedonic is Greek for, I can't even pronounce, hedonikos. I don't know. Hedon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it
Wait,
have the
did
same
you look
root
up
word?
hedonistic?
Characterized by hedonism.
Oh yeah, that would be hedonistic, right? Same word, right?
Yeah. Once and for all.
Hedonic.
Okay, thank you.
But there's also hedonistic. If you look up that word,
Hedonism. Hedon.
it's the same root word. Hedonistic is just the
Yeah, guys. See,
adjective of someone who is of that nature, hedonic.
So, I wanted to talk about. I've been looking into this because it's explaining to me why people just continue to buy shit. Like, consumer behavior is a really...
Consumerism is crazy.
Overconsumption is crazy because people need to consume. We naturally have to. I mean, we just need to.
I mean, consumerism as a defining characteristic of your society, of how it functions.
Well, and it's not even just about like our possessions. It's also about, as they were talking in that Vox video, obesity is overeating. That's hedonic right there. Or I don't know if I use that right, but that's excess. And that's what consumerism is. It's just an excess of things that people take in like that they have. And so, and I'm sure I've mentioned it prior, but I'm a big fan of minimalism. I'm a big fan of mindfulness. I think that in order to be truly happy, you have to let go. Do not add, you need to subtract. Okay, people, do not add, you need to subtract. But I had never heard of this, the hedonic treadmill. So I just wanted to bring it up. What do you think? Have you had an experience where you've gotten something, so like maybe like an increase in a pay or like a new perk, or even it could go, I think for me, I probably relate more to the negative things, like being broke. You know what I'm saying? Like you're broke after a few months, you're like, I'm happy. Like I'm okay. Right? Like I'm living this way. And I don't know, have you had any experiences like that or the opposite? Where
that's how the brain works. That's specifically, that's actually how the brain works. They have done studies of the brain of how when something negative to you happens, you're conditioned. And you're not only conditioned based off of behavior, the social behavior, but also within physiologically your brain.
Like your synapses?
Neurological pathways to your brain, where information is going through your brain and electrical impulses are connecting, and chemical and physical things are happening in your brain.
Yeah, but what do you mean it's connected to what? What is that connected to?
Damn, what was I gonna say? Shit.
This is what happens when you have like 8 streams of consciousness in your head, like constantly overthinking.
I know, that's what I was taking it somewhere else entirely, but what were you saying?
No, I'm all fucked up.
Someone tweet at us and let us know.
Oh yeah.
That's how you guys
you're talking about
on the live stream.
The synapses. You're talking about the physiology. Like those negative things are connected to that. So that changes. That changes how
the chemistry
your brain
of the
works.
brain. It changes the chemistry of your brain because it starts to consistently function off a particular amount of like endorphins and melatonin and everything that's already naturally in your body. But depending on how you function physiologically and how you eat and sleep and things like that, it's all different. But your brain develops particular patterns, neurological pathways that are, embedded in your brain, throughout your brain. Depending on emotions and different parts of your brain that you use, cognitive ability or whatever.
Yeah.
Or otherwise.
And those are the behaviors. That causes your
dominant. It's like your dominant characteristics, So
it's like the main highways used. Like those are the ones with the most traffic. That's the behavior.
So that's how.
Exhibit.
So that's what I was trying to explain. Is like how it's connected to how, like, if you have depression or
anxiety.
If you never experience, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because when you experience something negative, your brain reverts to like the most used pathways, right?
Oh.
In terms of connecting that to your emotions and your experience.
So then you baseline is basically what you're saying.
Yeah,
like
but you can condition yourself out of that. Theoretically, you can condition yourself out of that into like more positive experiences and things like that.
Well, and that's a mindset and an attitude thing. And you know what? People are going to be naturally, they're going to be like on a high baseline. So those are those positive optimist people that are like, yeah, everything's good. And I think that's me. And
but
I think
it requires
that's you
learning
too.
new things and taking in new information to expand your brain and your connectivity and your function.
Yeah, well, but at the same time, it seems more simple than that, than just getting information. It seems more like just letting it ride out. Like it's just like a matter of time anyways. And then you as a person, just I think as part of your core beliefs, your like core attitudes, you're either going to be a naturally like high baseline or a naturally low baseline. Like naturally low meaning like you're kind of sad all the time, you're brooding, and you know like that's just you, and you're mysterious, and you're an introvert and shit. But eventually you're going to get back down to that baseline no matter what. And I think what you're trying to say also is that the physiology and the chemistry in your brain like perpetuates that. So if you're already like a naturally depressed person because of these bodily functions, then you're going to go back to that baseline no matter how good things get. You know, you're going to win the lottery in, 3 to 6 months, you're going to baseline back at that depressive thing. So I just talked my way through that. Now I'm interested to see how like depression needs to be treated then. If that's a baseline for people, that's sad. You can get out of it, and it could be a mindset thing too, but I think it's really hard to fight your physiology. Like it's really hard to fight your body. And it's often said like you want to move into action instead of think into action. Or no, you want to move into thinking instead of think into action. Like you want to do things and then your mind will catch up. Like you can't think about something and then go do it. It's just harder like to accomplish anyways. So that's interesting stuff. Do you think you're naturally high baseline or naturally low baseline? Like are you like
I'm
more like
conditioning
sad?
myself to be as middle ground as possible
Yeah.
and to experience the full range of emotion.
Yeah, well I mean
because that's the whole human condition, is that you have to feel all of it,
I agree with that.
That's the deal. That's why we get to exist, is to do all of it.
To feel good, to feel bad. I mean, there is no good without bad, right? Now we're getting into some good and evil type stuff. I don't think you can't have can't have good without bad. You really can't. And so I think that's why the greatest people, struggle breeds greatness. 100%. Perseverance is going to get you somewhere. You have to have some struggle. And people, it's so crazy because the human condition, if there is no struggle, it's somehow you create it. It's so crazy, right? Like somehow there is a struggle somehow. Like, and it's because we're on that hedonic treadmill. We always want more. It doesn't stop. We're on there running for our life. That's why I think like utopias don't work.
I wonder if it's because we're so close biologically to the hunter-gatherer humans that were not that long ago.
And they were working on a more primitive...
Yeah, and like literally had a more dramatic and depressing life.
They could have been happy. I don't know.
I mean, I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of years.
Well, okay, so now let's get into this. What's the essence of happiness? It's changed. What's happiness for humans now? Because happiness back then was just living. It was just the day. Like people, and I was telling my sister this the other day, living in the past is depression. Living in the future is anxiety.
That's true.
So if you're anxious, it's because you're living in the future. Like, get back to this moment. If you are sad, it's probably because you're living in the past. Get back to this moment. You're not there. So, I think that's true. I don't know. I don't even know where I was going with that point. How many times are we going to do this?
That was dope.
Help us out. Oh, man.
Oh, man, that was dope. That's some good conversation.
Hedonic Treadmill. And this is, guys, YouTube. Let me just tell you
We'll
how
post
much
a
I
link
love
in the
YouTube.
description.
We'll post the link in the description. But YouTube has so much great content, guys. And we love making great content for you, but there are people that are doing it in video form. And we'll post some of our favorite... I know Vox is one, Vice, obviously. There's this guy, Captain Christian with K's. He's got some really good videos, and he talks a lot about rap. But get your knowledge up. You know, while y'all were out watching Beyonce, which bow down. But I can, you know, use your time wisely. Read. Get to know yourself. I think self-awareness is really important. I'm just gonna preach it all day long. You know, take care of yourself. Be aware of who you are and what you believe, and don't let anybody change that. You can tell I've been reading some Seneca lately and listening to some J. Cole, because that's just stuff they say. I've actually been thinking about doing an analysis on Seneca's philosophy within J. Cole's rap. And so I won't get into it now, but it's interesting because you guys are getting philosophized by rappers. You don't even know it, because I don't know if you guys think about it.
I did. I got philosophized by Tupac and Biggie.
Oh, man. You know who I got philosophized a lot by too? Nas. His
Hot Chili Peppers and Bob Marley.
Oh,
and
Bob
Sublime.
Marley's a big one. Yeah, Sublime's a good one too. Yeezy's doing it now too. And you guys may not think that. I don't know. You guys may think, you know, a lot of you think Kanye is an asshole. He is an asshole sometimes, I guess. But he's definitely looking at some deeper issues. You know, he's definitely thinking about his life. And Socrates said, an unexamined life is not worth living. I think that's the quote. I don't know. Tweet me the right one. Oh, I don't know.
All right. Make sure to hit us up on Twitter, at Gmail.
The Realennials.
And just let us know your thoughts, your comments, your suggestions, concerns.
Yeah. Guys, somebody email us. I don't think we've gotten out one email. I can't even front. I also don't know if I've checked that much. So if you have emailed us, I'm sorry. We'll get back to you. Yeah. Any last thoughts, Pat?
No, I'm good. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
All right, guys. Bye.
Later.